Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's The Future of Insurance campaign. I'm Alastair. Do you remember the last time that you dropped your phone and needed a replacement? And do you remember how fast your insurance company could help you out? But are insurance companies equipped to get our lives back on track? This is what we're going to find out today with Ross Sinclair from EIP. Before we start talking about mobile phones, could you give us a broad picture of some of the trends in the insurance industry today?
I think of all the trends that I could mention, the one that I'd like to pick up on is in relation to claims for damage and theft. And in here, insurers haven't kept pace with the marketplace and with market trends. And the current processes for damage claims are inefficient, slow and outdated. If you have a mobile phone, everybody lives off their mobile phone nowadays. They're doing their banking on it, they're checking their emails, they're doing their social networking, everything. And if you lose your mobile phone, your life is over.
But the insurance industry seems quite happy with the way things are. So what's going to happen if they don't change?
Well, traditional insurers are content because they feel that the current processes mitigate claims, which is the wrong approach. If they don't adapt to new processes, more efficient processes, or if they don't adopt some of the insurtechs, then they'll disappear.
You talked about opportunities. So where are these opportunities for the insurtech industries to improve the claims journey?
Yeah, well, if we look specifically at one area, there are huge opportunities to simplify the customer journey on accidental damage claims, for example. And again, looking specifically at mobile devices. Mobile device screens are becoming bigger. The form factor is becoming much shinier and slippier, and people are using their phones much more now for everything from banking to ordering a taxi to their social networking. You put all of those factors together and we're seeing a very material shift over recent years in the types of claims that we receive. So if you look back 15 years ago, pretty reliably 70% of your claims would have been for theft and 30% for damage, give or take, and that was the same in most countries. Nowadays, if you look around various countries, well over 90% of claims will be for accidental damage, and most of those will be for screen damage. If you look at a damage claim, invariably 99% of them are accepted. You don't turn down too many claims, and also you're tending to repair that device and give it back to the customer. So there's minimal opportunity, minimal motive for fraud.
You say that technology can help. So how can it help? How can the problem be fixed?
This is why when it comes to damage claims particularly, EIP has created AutoClaim. And AutoClaim is a little toolkit that sits on your mobile phone, and it senses when the phone has been dropped and automatically sends a signal to our core software platform telling it to make a claim on behalf of the customer. We don't need any more information. We already have the customer's name and address, email address, telephone number. We know that the phone has been dropped because AutoClaim has told us. We know the date and time because it's told us that as well. And we also know even the location because we've got the GPS coordinates of the drop.
Can you give us an example? I mean, what does a current claim journey look like and how could it be improved?
Assuming you have insurance, you need to remember who's provided that insurance. You need to find their phone number. You need to contact the call centre, wait on an IVR for 5 minutes, being told that your call is important to them, and then you get through to a human being. That person will collect information about the incident. They'll collect information about you. Hopefully your claim will be approved, and then the call centre representative will arrange to collect your device for repair and then return it to you, hopefully within a few days. The problem with that process is that using a human to collect basic details is remarkably inefficient and expensive, and modern technology allows us to collect that information in a much faster, cheaper and less obtrusive way. The beauty of the accidental damage claims is that, as we mentioned earlier, they don't attract fraud because you're getting the same device back. And also we're admitting 99% plus of these types of claim.
But surely distributors are going to feel some form of resistance from insurance companies. After all, there are virtually no checks taking place anymore.
Well, it's not no checks. It's automated verification and validation. So if the customer doesn't have a valid insurance policy, or if the customer hasn't paid their premiums up to date, then AutoClaim wouldn't process a claim. If the customer hasn't dropped the device, then AutoClaim wouldn't even initiate a claim. Our software processes over 300,000 claims per year, and our data science team has analysed the impact, the margin impact of implementing AutoClaim. And it might sound counterintuitive to say that an insurer can improve their commercial position by encouraging claims, but that's exactly what happens, because a 10-second fully automated claim costs an awful lot less to manage than a 10-minute claim to a human in a call centre. So if you remove the call centre cost and just leave the fractional cost of the software, then you end up with a net positive margin.
You talked about data helping the claims process. Is there anything else that this data could be used for?
Yeah, well, we're quite excited about the area of predictive analytics and its ability to drive behavioural changes which actually stop claims from happening in the first place. We have something like 80 million data points built up over 10 years across 11 countries. And when you have that level of claims information, you can start to spot scenarios which will give rise, or are more likely to give rise, to a claim. Once you understand those scenarios and you can spot them in real time, then you have the opportunity to communicate with the end user and try to change their behaviour in order to prevent an incident or a loss happening. So for example, if we know that a customer is walking through a part of the city where we've received a large number of pickpocketing claims, then we can send a message to that customer advising them of that and telling them to be careful and how to protect their device and their other belongings. The trick with this is to get these alerts and these messages to a level where they're informative, but they're not irritating, because if they're the latter, then the customer will switch them off and they become of no use. However, if we can get that balance right, then this is another area that significantly raises the game in terms of the claims service.
We've talked a lot about how technology can be used to help the claims journey. For people watching this interview, what key takeaway would you like them to remember?
Well, I think it's that the insurer's commercial interests and creating the absolute best possible claims experience for the customer are not mutually exclusive.
Ross Sinclair from EIP.